Love by Jhanna Urena. Walton School, 8th grade. Her name is Crystal. Crystal is what people would call selfish or unkind, or maybe even heartless. But she didn't really care what other people thought about her. She stopped caring a long time ago. Crystal had long, beautiful brown hair and gorgeous eyes, but somehow managed to make them look cold and intimidating. She had only a slight tan on her skin since she really didn't go out that much. I guess you could say that it was her natural skin tone. Crystal was 14 years old. People would always give her nasty looks at school because you know how people are. They crave and feed into other people's suffering. At least that's what Crystal thought. She didn't have any friends because when people see another person that's not normal or like them, they automatically frame them to be weird. But like I said, Crystal didn't care. Her days were always bland, and every day seemed like the same day before repeatedly. I guess you could say she was just living to die, right? One day there was finally something new happening in Crystal's life. A new student in her class, the teacher announced. Crystal immediately thought, oh, great. Another person that's going to think I'm heartless, she thought. She said that as a little joke in her head because, like I said, she does not care. The new student walked in. It was a boy. Of course, the girls were already drooling over him the minute he walked through the door. The teacher told him to introduce himself. His name was Elliot, but his friends call him Ellie. He was tall with blonde, overgrown hair and basic blue eyes. He looked like your average white boy. At least that's what Crystal thought. Elliot sat next to Crystal, which startled her a bit because nobody ever wanted to sit next to her, but she just shrugged it off because she knew that he would just move seats the second he found out about the person she really is, because she knew other people would say things like, don't hang out with her, she's weird, or she doesn't talk to anybody, don't bother. And in a way, Crystal found some peace in that because, again, she did not care. Soon enough, her thoughts got interrupted. It was Elliot. He looked at her and gave her a soft, kind, warm smile, almost as if he was asking to be friends. But she didn't smile back. She just turned her head away because she got used to ignoring people without feeling any guilt. Soon enough, lunch came, and right when the bell rang, half of the girls ran to Elliot as if he was some sort of magnet to them. Elliot ignored them and ran straight to Crystal to catch up with her because she had already left the classroom for lunch. Hey, buddy, Elliot said to Crystal. I'm not your buddy. You don't even know me, Crystal said. Ouch. Okay then, classmate. Want to eat lunch together? Elliot asked as he matched her energy jokingly. How about you ask one of those girls that are drooling all over you and leave me alone, Crystal said. Elliot goes quiet. Crystal starts walking away, but then she looks over and sees Elliot behind her. So she immediately starts walking slightly faster just to see if he really is following her. She looks over again and she sees Elliot again, but this time with the same soft, kind, warm smile as before. But the smile was bigger than before, like as if he's about to burst out with laughter. What's wrong with this kid? Crystal thought to herself. She soon gets tired of being hateful towards him and decides to just stay quiet and ignore him. He stuck to her the whole lunch period. At the lunch table, even though Crystal wasn't saying anything, he somehow started up a conversation, even though Crystal was not talking at all. For a moment, Crystal started enjoying hearing him talk about whatever he was talking about, but she soon realized what she was doing and she disciplined herself. She almost got attached. Yes, I know it's quick, but that's the main reason why Crystal is how she is and how she gets attached easily. And that's a problem for her because she thinks everyone is going to leave her all the time. Lunch was over, and he even stuck to her to go to class. Soon enough, school was over. It was time to go home, finally, she whispered to herself. She stepped outside, and a cold breeze hit her face for some odd reason. It felt kind of nice on Crystal's face. While she was waiting at the bus stop, she was looking around at her surroundings. Crystal really enjoyed the snow. There was sparkly, pretty white snow all around her since it was almost Christmas. She didn't really feel any excitement for Christmas. For her, it was just another day. Another bland day like all the other ones. The bus finally arrived, and she took a seat at the back of the bus, and mainly started thinking about Elliot. I wonder when he's going to realize that I'm not worth spending all that energy on, she thought to herself. The next day was the same as yesterday, but this time the girl started spreading rumors. But like I said, Crystal does not care. A week passes by, and Crystal slightly starts to warm up to Elliot. It was the day before Christmas. "Aren't you excited? Tomorrow's Christmas," Elliot said. "It's just another day. What is there to be excited about?" This is the first time Crystal responded to Elliot in a full sentence. Elliot noticed, but he didn't say anything so that maybe she could keep talking to him. "What do you mean? There's lots to be excited about," Elliot said. Elliot started talking nonstop about Christmas. He was talking with so much joy, Crystal just couldn't ignore, so she started listening. While she was listening, she noticed how pretty his eyes were, and how they would always light up every time he talked about something he loved or liked. She never really got a good look at his face, at least not this close up. She continued to look at him almost as if she was admiring him in a way. She caught herself again. She knew what she was doing, but this time she didn't discipline herself for some odd reason. She allowed herself to feel this emotion, or feeling. She didn't know exactly what it was, but it felt kind of familiar. Elliot noticed the staring. He didn't want to ask, but what if there was something wrong, he thought to himself. You okay, Crystal?" Elliot asked, concerned. "Yeah, Ellie, everything's fine," she said with a warm smile. Elliot filled with enjoyment when she called him Ellie, but he didn't show it. Even though it was noticeable, he was trying to play it cool, but he did let out a big smile. They left the courtyard because lunch was over and went to class. Soon enough, school was over. Crystal was waiting at the same bus stop as always and sat down on the same bus at the same back seat, but this time with a smile on her face. It's Christmas! There was no school that day because they said the students should spend time with their families, but Crystal didn't really have anyone, so she just stayed at home. She laid down on the couch, and her eyes started slowly closing, but right when she was about to fall asleep, she heard a knock on the door. It was Elliot. He had a blue and red sweater on with a reindeer on it, and he was holding a big present with a red ribbon on top. "That is the ugliest sweater I have ever seen," Crystal said jokingly with a slight smile on her face. "You know you love it," Elliot said, matching her energy. "I brought you a present. Oh, but you can't open it right now. Let's go have fun," Elliot said. "Do you really think I'm going to agree to that, Ellie?" Crystal said. "Oh, come on, please, Crystal," Elliot said jokingly with a pouted lip. "All right," Crystal said. She went inside and changed her clothes and put the present on the side of her bed. They went to the carnival, and they had a blast. After they finished, they saw a big tree and decided to sit in front of it, and it started snowing. "Wow, the snow is so pretty today," Crystal said. "Not as pretty as you," Elliot accidentally said out loud. Crystal startled. She didn't know what to say, but her heart was pounding like crazy. "You don't have to say any..." But before Elliot could finish, "You're not too ugly yourself, Ellie," Crystal said with a warm smile on her face. Crystal started feeling an emotion. She was having a hard time trying to understand what she was feeling. Was it excitement? Was it joy, happiness, fulfillment? But then she finally figured out what she was feeling on this snowy, cold day. It was love. She had fallen in love with Elliot. She had fallen in love with his eyes, his smile, his laugh. Maybe this average white boy wasn't so basic after all.